Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Ursa. This is my YouTube channel and this is my first video. Inshallah, I hope to discuss many Islamic topics that are relevant today to both kids and adults. And inshallah, I hope to post videos on a weekly or monthly basis. And if all goes well, with more requests, they will become more frequent. So let's get started. My first topic is about one of the most forgotten sunnahs of our times, and it is the treatment of neighbors. And it's pretty interesting because Allah talks directly about neighbors in the Quran. Surah Nisa, chapter 4, verse 36, and he says, worship Allah and join none with him in worship, and be good to parents, kinsfolk, orphans, al-masakin, the poor, the neighbor who's near of kin, the neighbor who's a stranger, the companion by your side, the wayfarer you meet, and the slaves whom your right hands possess. Verily, Allah does not like such are boastful and proud. There are also two hadiths related to this topic, and the first one is by Ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, where the Prophet, peace be upon him, says, Jibreel kept urging me to treat my neighbors well until I thought he would make them heirs. The second hadith is by Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, where the Prophet, peace be upon him, says, whoever believes in Allah in the last day, let him not annoy his neighbor. This is how much importance was given to neighbors in the Quran and Hadith. And until recently, before, TV, cell phones, social media and all this stuff kicked in, people actually had time for one another. Even as a child, I remember, seeing people sitting with their neighbors out on the patio or in the garage, having fun, having a good time, drinking tea, and watching TV, for hours on end. And it was nice seeing people make time for each other. Remember, neighbors aren't just people who live right beside you on each side of you. Neighbors could be people whose houses are facing your house, whose houses are on the same street as you, and some narrations even go on to say that 40 houses on each side of your house are considered neighbors. When someone new moves into the neighborhood, invite them over for a meal, go introduce yourself. Just because, your neighbor might not be a Muslim doesn't mean you treat them unjustly. We should be concerned about our neighbors just like we would be, we'd be concerned for a close relative. If you're living a life of luxury and your neighbor doesn't have a bed or a chair, or you can't afford 2 meals a day, then it is your responsibility, to make sure that they have the necessities. And I've heard stories where the first time people get to meet or hear about their neighbor is at their funeral. Usually if something goes wrong, neighbors are the first people we contact for help. On the Day of Judgment, when we're standing in front of Allah, we'll be wishing, thinking, begging Allah to let us go back in time so we could do even a tiny little atom's amount of good. But then what's the point, It'll be too late. When we're being accounted for every breath we ever taken, for every letter we ever spoken, every good deed will seem like nothing. So, you know what? So go and reach out to your neighbors today and think of all the problems and hate that would be gone if we were to live in peace with the ones closest to us. I would love to hear about your encounters with your neighbors in the comment section below. Hope you liked my first video. If you have any comments or questions about my video, or if you have a topic for my next video, please feel free to tell me in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.